So that kind of leads into the next question that I want to ask you, which is, when is an individual eligible to utilize the GI Bill?
So with the post 9/11 GI Bill, you are eligible on average. The date, it would be 90 days after you've been completed with active duty service. So starting at 90 days, you could start to use and apply for the post 9/11 GI Bill.
While still in service?
While still in service,
okay.
Yeah. I will say, though, that your time in service is going to reflect how much percentage you get. So with the post 9/11 GI Bill, you start off at 50% whenever you hit 90 days. And then as you accrue more days, then your percentage will go up by about 10%. So you can get at the start 50% of the base pay that they give. And then ultimately, after you've hit 2 years, you can start to, 3 years, you can get the 100%. And then if you are in the Montgomery GI Bill and you're wanting to use that one, you have to have been already in for 2 or 3 years before you're eligible to do that one. And then the same thing, like I mentioned with the 1606, that one, once you completed your IADT and there's evidence of that in your file, and you've also signed on for a 6-year obligation, then you can start to use that one as well.
And what if I'm an individual that maybe I'm an officer or whatever, or enlisted, but I went to college? What if I've already got a degree, I'm married, maybe I have a kid that's old enough to go to college, or my spouse wants to go to college? Mm-hmm. How far into service are they able to utilize it?
So if you're still active duty, the best thing, and this is kind of where it falls under wanting to transfer your benefits. Is that it's kind of where you're leading, you think? Mm-hmm. Okay. So with the transfer of benefits, it is a benefit that is used, it's something that's offered by the Department of Defense. So DOD will let you sign on for additional periods of service. And by doing so, that creates your eligibility to transfer your benefits. So it's something that the VA, we don't approve. We don't have the authority to approve, I should say. But what we can do is use what DOD has given you and then apply that to your dependents. So if, let's say, in average, you sign on to do 6 years, and then you have decided that you want to do 4 more. So you'll have a total of 10 years. Well, those 10 years, well, then if DOD approves it, you can then be eligible to transfer 1 month, 36 months, 1 day, however you want to break it up. But you can, if you have a total of 36 months of eligibility, you'll be able to take that 36 months and divide it up amongst your dependents. So your wife could have 12 months and you have 2 kids and they could each have 12 months. And then that can always change as well. But that's something that you have to do before, and I can't stress that enough, before you get out of active duty. So before your RAD date, you really need to have that aligned already with DOD and have that approved, because we can't do anything with it after you get out.
Yeah, I've run into, at many outreach events, I know you and I both have run into people. They're like, hey, how do I transfer it over to, I'm like, sorry, buddy, you had to do that before you got out.
Right. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have that kind of authority to do that. But, you know, it is definitely one thing that we like to encourage people to look at and talk to their ESOs whenever they're in active duty to see how they can apply for that.
Hey folks, connecting with your benefits is our primary mission, and the SITREP is providing more options than ever.
Subscribe to our free email newsletter, subscribe to our audio podcast channel, or subscribe to our content on YouTube.
For details and links, check out the description below.